Here is every single game Voldex has discontinued, or every single game I could find. The first game name is Dungeon Quest, and it has around 3,000 players by average by the time someone regularly plays today, in any day. Their quitting message or retiring said game was on February 6th, but their last update was in February 12th of 2024. Dungeon Quest did have a discontinuation message, but other games unfortunately didn't have them further in this video. And the Dungeon Quest community does not like Voldex. For example here, and for a final example, right over here. The community doesn't really like them. The second game is Samurai, having between 1,000 to 2,000 players, all of it during recent times. A little less popular than Dungeon Quest. The game was discontinued on March 1st of 2024, and the final update was on February 26th of 2024. So actually discontinuing after the final update was pretty consecutive and pretty quick. Now, it does seem that this community also isn't a really big fan of Voldex, but it's not as negative as Dungeon Quest. For example, here, and here are a few examples of what some people think of Voldex and some of the recent messages about that company. Next up we have is Encounters. And for players for Encounters, it is between 100 and 500 users during the last few days. Their final update was on August 2023, and I could not find a message that they were no longer working on it. But seeing there, it's clear that they are no longer working on it, especially now that I'm recording this in the year 2025. The thoughts of the company are negative overall, over here, and over here. Unfortunately, they are not liked here either. Next up here, we have is base battles. Now, for the player count for this, it is around between 1.5 thousand and 1,000 players during the last week. And for base battles retirement message or quitting message, I couldn't find it, but here's a message saying no more updates from someone. And here are the basically general consensus of what people think of the company itself, which unfortunately is not good either. It's becoming pretty repetitive at this point. And here's a picture of the final update. Next one right here we have is Penguin Tycoon. The game gets between 100 and 250 players daily. Now, the game isn't as popular anymore, and especially their Discord server, but there's still some messages about it once in a while, like this one right over here, and this one right over here. And it's still overall negative because they found like they're the reason that the game got discontinued. It all seems to be following in a certain pattern. The update was on December 2022, and their message of the game being discontinued does not exist, or I cannot find it. Well, it makes sense that it began no longer updating since no updates have appeared for 3 years. For the next game here is we have Pet Zoo. And for some reason I have a level 100 pet and I have never played this before. For the player count, basically it's been between 10 and 40 players every single day. Now, the game got its final update on the year 2022 July, and it did not get a discontinuation message back then, and it's obvious it's not receiving any updates anymore. And the opinion of players to Voldex about here is bad as per usual. Here and here, pretty aggressive for the current size of the game. The next one is Build a Market Tycoon, having approximately 30 to 70 active players daily. Here's where you run into the niche category. I found no messages there talking about Voldex because the server barely had messages. And also, I barely found a lot of stuff. Here are all the things that I found. So it's kind of getting to the niche area of these games. And for the final one here, we have Vampire Fighters. There's no players here, so it can't be found in Raleigh mode. But it can obviously be found that it's from Voldex from here in the Discord server. And here are disc complaints, and here are disc complaints. And yeah, that's pretty much. But wait, there's one more, and it's Cursed Islands. And if I move it there, my entire editing's gonna be screwed, and I've been editing this for 9 hours. So please, please, please bear with me this time. And for the player count, it's kind of weird. It bounced between 250 and 750 users. Now, Cursed Islands is actually a game that I personally enjoyed myself, and I really like the game. Though unfortunately, as it's in this video, it got discontinued, and I am not a fan of that. But the point is, here are the opinions of people who said their general opinions about Voldex or the company itself, and the game was discontinued back in 2022, and here is the picture of the final update of the game, which just makes me sad that this game got discontinued. I really like this game. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I actually played this match to full. I actually ended up getting second place. It kind of made me sad that I didn't win. Here's a clip about it. Well, man, that video took me longer than usual, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. YouTube says you'll like this video right over here, and waddle out, my friend.